just go down in a heaping pile of crying. Like they would just cry themselves to sleep.
Notre Dame. Oh gosh, I have to sneeze. Notre Dame made him look silly.
Well, and it's because that's why I honestly think that Utah has a good shot at USC this week, because their defense is better than Notre Dame's, in my opinion. The problem is we have no one at quarterback. Like, we cannot throw the ball, and it's like this is the same kind of Utes team that we saw all those years before Cam Rising became Cam Rising, and it's like we just our philosophy is fine if you go with like if you're just consigned to doing, you know, keep away football, and you know, if we had a run game. But that's exactly the other thing is like Vaki seemed to come on. I mean, he had 158 yards and 2 touchdowns. Right. So like if he does that against USC and Bryson Barnes just manages the game, doesn't throw interceptions, holds onto the ball, and then our defense plays like it's been playing. Like if our defense plays like Notre Dame's defense did against USC, I think we'll be right there to win that game. You know, and I think it might be closer because I think Notre Dame probably has a little bit better offense than what we have at the moment. But the thing is every year, you know, there's been lots of years where like Utah had a similar team and they couldn't really score, and then they have that one game where they just explode. And it's like, I'm hoping that it's USC. Honestly, it's
usually like 3 or 4 games into the season that they finally
I
would be together.
I would be ecstatic if Utah beat USC, and then if they lost to Oregon and Washington, I wouldn't even care. I want them. I hate USC. I hate them. I think they're the biggest bunch of idiots and jerks that exist on the planet. And even though I'm happy that Utah's going to the Big 12, what they did to the Pac-12, I think, is despicable. And so it's like, especially when you consider like other teams don't have what Utah has and don't have a landing spot.
Right.
You know, and it's frustrating to see how it happened and why it happened. And the thing is the USC was the reason why. So when Oklahoma and Texas decided to go to the SEC, then USC was the reason why we didn't just pick up all those teams from the Big 12, and then the Big 12 would be dead. Now again, I am happy we're in the Big 12. It does make me, so I am like happy the turnout, because I think Utah really is more of a Big 12 team anyways. Like, we're not, you know, the Pac-12 and all the stuff that comes with it is kind of like annoying. But yet again, it's like, if you're looking at it in like how things went down, it's like USC and UCLA are a bunch of dirt bags. Right. And it's like, I would just love for us to beat USC again on their way out of the Pac-12. I would love that.
Yeah. Do you think who's going to be in the championship, Pac-12?
If I were betting on it, I would say Oregon and Washington. Washington, I think, has a real shot to go undefeated in the Pac-12, which then makes them a playoff team. So that would be cool.
Yeah.
And then Oregon. I mean, Oregon almost beat Washington in Washington. So it's like, I'm pretty sure that Oregon is going to beat. It wouldn't surprise me if they won out as well. I think Utah has a good shot at Oregon because it's in Salt Lake City, and like they just, you know, they played really well in Salt Lake City.
Right.
But I would say overall, Oregon is the better team without Cam Rising. So again, it's like it's hard.
Right.
But you know, if Utah went 9-3, that would be a great year in my mind for what all the things that have happened to Utah this year.
Right.
I feel like that would be just, we would have done a really good job if we could go 9-3, and 10-2 would be just like the best. And it is frustrating because it's like if we had Cam Rising, I think we're probably undefeated at this point and have a really good shot at maybe only losing one game this year, maybe. And like, I think Washington probably does beat us in Washington, even with Cam. But I think we beat Oregon, and I think we beat USC if we had Cam Rising. And that's what makes it, you know, so difficult and hard to judge.
Right. Huh. Yeah, because I mean, I watched that Notre Dame game, and Caleb Williams was just not making good decisions. Like,
well, it's just because of the duress. It's because of like you know, how do you make good decisions when you're constantly getting run down by 300-pound linemen? Like,
yeah, that's true.
You know
and
what I mean?
I'm sitting here as a 5'7" guy that played half a year of
when you were 10
Pee Wee football.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. And that's the
like,
thing is like, and that's fine. You can be a you know, a Monday morning quarterback. There's nothing wrong with that. But it's like there was definitely reasons why that happened. I thought it would last longer. I guess I popped my Unite move and I was like, oh, maybe I'll get in there, but no. As soon as I got in there, I died. I did not have very much health.
The rest of the team.
Oh yeah, that was a good spot for us to be in. We did a good job, and we're definitely winning this game. We need to not get overplayed though. If we overstretch our lanes, and if we don't protect our goals and just let them score when they want, that's not gonna be a good job. And I don't know. Well, I guess they did get 3 of them. This was a risky play by these guys, but I'm gonna come in and offer support, and I'm gonna see what happens and see if, because my Unite move is like super close too. But yeah, Mimikyu, run, run!
Oh, you got there. Why were you not able to run at all?
Oh, I was like, so certain moves like stun, and so I just got stunned.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
Well, slowed is really what it was. So I got slowed, and then when that slow like faded off, then I was fine. But
right. Or you get into your base thing, right?
yeah. So then I got into my base, and then I started healing, and then I was fine.
Gotcha.
And the problem is with not having, like with Mimikyu, you're dead, is I don't know what he does. So like that's kind of the issue. That's probably why I wanted to play him, because it's like, I want to see what he does and why he does it. And so then I can offer him help, but without knowing without, you know, being able to play him at least a little bit.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Because other players will be like, this is my main guy, and you want to know how to help him.
Right. And I just haven't seen him. I haven't done any research. I actually didn't even know I didn't know he was actually releasing today. You're dead, and you're gonna die. You suck again.
Oh, the humility.
Oh, the humility. I am the most humble. Oh, I'm dead.
Oh, man.
No, I'm good.
Oh.
Run away!
Well done.
Okay. We're fine.
Yeah, you're good.
We're fine.
You're good.
We're fine. I say we're fine enough, maybe we will be fine.
Maybe I'll
You too. Get away. Stay away. Ugh, I gotta back off.
Oh,
I gotta back off.
2 ninja Pokemon coming after you. Oh, sweet. You're level 13.
Okay. Oh.
Why'd it go all dark?
Ramaran. That's how we know that Rayquaza's popped.
Oh boy.
Oh, live Garner. Oh, and they got Rayquaza. Oh,
dang it. You went right in the middle, man.
Yep. Well, and that was the thing is I honest to goodness was like, oh yeah, I'll be fine. I really thought that. I was like, yeah, I'll be good. But I was not. But that Blaziken sure cleaned things up, so we should be good. I don't know if we need to score though. Oh, no, we're not good. That person scores, so we need to. Okay, and we need to kill this person. Okay. Okay, we got 3 dead. We need to score. Where did Blaze? Oh, Blaziken. I'm guessing that they're just waiting on someone to come. Yep. I cannot fight that. Oh, I'm dead. Yep. Oh, we need to score, guys. They scored. We need to score. No, and Snorlax is by himself. Perfect. Oh, we got to do something.
So why does your countdown take longer at the end of the game rather than?
It's based upon how many times you've died. So if you die a ton, your countdown's really, really fast. If you don't die, they like basically are making it. That's how they like even it out in their brains. Man, I'm pretty sure we lost. I don't think we won that game. I don't know why we just sat and defended that whole time. And I think it's close, but I'm pretty sure we lost.
Are you sure you lost?
I don't know.
Rayquaza?
I don't. Well, yeah, we definitely lost Rayquaza. Oh, okay.
Holy cow.
That's fine. Okay, cool. I must have miscounted in my brain. No, yeah, we for sure lost Rayquaza. They had shields, we did not. And then and Blaziken cleaned up. So that's what saved us, honestly. And now I've moved up to Ultra Class 2, so. Yay! Ultra Class 2!
Yay!
Yay!
Okay.
Yay!
Mario game. What is it about?
So it is going back to original Mario, 2D platform. Okay. There's new power-ups, just like anything. But what I've read and what I've heard is they did a really good job with it, and that you're supposed to get all the feels and all the nostalgia. So that's what we're banking on.
But what if, back in the nostalgia days of Mario, I sucked at it?
Yeah, that's why we're gonna make you play. Yeah. Why do you think? Because I had 2 games coming. I got both Spider-Man 2 and this. Why do you think I picked you to play Mario? Why do you think that was on purpose?
Oh man, I can't get any practice at home because I don't know video games. Stuff.
You don't have a Switch?
No.
You need to get a Switch.
I know.
Switches are sweet, man.
Yeah, my kids want me to get a Switch.
You can get the OLED version. I have the OG version. You can get the better version. Got a bigger screen, a better screen.
Nice. Yeah, my kids want it for Christmas.
We'll get it. Stop being a butt.
Probably.
Stop being a bad dad.
Ouch. Ouch.
It's Stop
I
being,
can walk away.
Stop being a terrible father. No, you can't. You can waddle away.
Whatever.
So good. So good.
Whichever one you are thinking, whatever, don't matter.
So good.
Bad dad.
Get him a Switch. Switch it. One, you'll enjoy it too. And like I love the Switch. Like, so I'm a PlayStation guy. Like, if I only could have one, I'd always go PlayStation. But the Switch has by far been my favorite console, like, ever. And it's like, it's so useful to be able to play games in handheld or on a TV, take it wherever you want. Like, that is such a cool feature. Now, obviously, the problem is that, you know, it's not as powerful as like the PS5 or the Xbox, you know, One X, but it fulfills its purpose. And like, honestly, this is what Sega never understood, and admittedly, in my opinion, this is what Xbox doesn't understand. Like, it's the console is not what sells, like, is not what even sells the console. If that were true, then Xbox would always win because it's always had the more powerful console of each generation it's been a part of. Like, it's had the most, it's been the most powerful every generation. But the reason that they don't win is because games are what sell consoles. Games are what make people want to play consoles. It's games. That's what it is. And so the Nintendo Switch definitely has the games that make it a powerhouse and the reason why people love it so much. Like, and that's like what the Wii U did, or the Wii, excuse me. Like, the Wii was a terrible console. Like, as far as like power and like graphics, it was obnoxious how terrible it was. But the idea that you can like play, you know, by shaking your remote, and it actually got people, you know, people in retirement homes bought it. Like, that was, they knew how to sell it, and they were selling a certain, and that's why they outsold everybody in that generation. And so it's like, PlayStation by far, in my opinion, has the best game libraries, and that's usually why PlayStation usually wins the wars overall. So even like the Xbox 360, which started as selling the most, eventually lost to the PlayStation overall when everything was said and done, because they didn't have the games that PlayStation did. And look, the Xbox 360 is a really good system. Like, it had Gears of War, Halo was really, the Halo that was on it was really good. Like, it was good. But still, PlayStation 3 overtook it eventually, because eventually they did have more stuff. And that's exactly the thing here. It's like, you buy a Switch because you want to play Pokemon. You buy a Switch because you want to play Pokemon Unite. You buy a Switch because you want to play Zelda. You buy a Switch because you want to play Mario. Like, and all those things are legitimate reasons as why the Switch is so good. And it is. It's just, it is a phenomenal system. And it's mainly that because of its library, like its games library. Whereas like the Wii U didn't do so hot. Well, mainly because it was really just a Wii Pro. Like, it wasn't really a new system, even though they pretended it was. And then people, even though I had updated all the graphics to HD, it had not caught up graphically, power-wise, and so games were still not being made for it. So like Mortal Kombat 1 just dropped, and it plays like garbage on the Switch. And that is a real problem. So like, there is still that issue, but that's not why you buy a Switch. If you want to play Mortal Kombat 1, you have a computer or a PS5. If you want to play, like, you buy a Switch for a specific reason, and that's the reason.
And the reason is Mario,
Sonic, Zelda, You play games that are made for that.
console.
Like, they know their audience now, and they're smart because they know who their audience is, and then they play to that audience. That's admittedly why Xbox kind of struggles and why Sega struggled, because they didn't know their audience. They didn't know who they were really supposed to be playing to, and because they never understood that, eventually they lost.
Right,
and now they're
like,
not
how
even
could-
making consoles. So,
Yeah.
which is sad because
Sega.
and look, Sega was a bargain. Like Nintendo, how do I say this? Like, if Nintendo is Ferrari, Sega is BMW. Like, still okay. Not a bad pick, but it's not a Ferrari.
Yeah.
Like, and people always thought, well, if Nintendo's Ferrari, then, you know, Sega must be Lamborghini. It's like, no, that's just not true. Like,
Right.
they were never in that same category of system. Sonic is nowhere near as good a game as Super Mario World. It's not. Sonic was good for American audiences. Like, in America, Sega like had the bigger share of the market, but it was mostly because Americans are different than Japanese gamers.
Right.
In like Japan, in Brazil, Sega had a huge market too, but everywhere else they did not. Nintendo definitely outbid, you know, the Genesis here, or the Master System as it's called in Japan. And that's the thing is like, but you know, the reason that PlayStation even exists is because Nintendo made one of the biggest mistakes ever by a video game company. They originally slated Sony to help them build an add-on, because if you remember, Sega made the 32X, right? So it was a 32-bit add-on to the Genesis, right? Well, Sony was going to do the same thing to Nintendo, but when they literally were doing it, they had signed a contract at I believe it was a Tokyo Game Show. Nintendo had actually gone behind their back and signed with Philips, and total like company espionage bullcrap. So then Sony was like, "Oh, you're gonna do that? We're gonna make our own console," and then the PlayStation was born. And now the PlayStation is king. So Nintendo literally created their greatest competition in the video game market. And had they not done it, it probably wouldn't have happened.
Yeah.
And like we just simply wouldn't have PlayStation. It would have been a Nintendo accessory, and maybe it wouldn't even have done anything, right?
Right.
Like maybe it would have been like, because the 32X was like a flash in the pan, no one liked it.
Right.
You know, and honestly, you might still have Sega, because maybe PlayStation wouldn't have, because PlayStation also killed the Sega Saturn, which was it was a really like powerful machine too. It just came out too early in its cycle. So it's like people were still good with, you know, other things, and that came out and they just came out too early. And so it's like, well, that's what happens.
Huh.
Yes, I teach a whole thing on. I used to teach a video game history class at Roots, and then like video game design, you also do like a history class. It's like there's a history portion, if you will, and so that's where like all that knowledge came from.
Yeah. So and Microsoft makes Xbox.
Yeah. Microsoft smartly was like, oh, we can do video games, like we can compete. Let's do that. So they did. And they did. Like, Halo is a triumph, like, for the video game sphere in American gaming. Like, if you look at gaming as like Japanese or American, definitely, like, huge.
Yeah.
The problem is that Japan makes systems that everyone likes. American makes systems that usually only Americans like. So like we enjoy different kinds of games. So we enjoy like, oh crap, oh no, we enjoy games that are like sports games and first-person shooters. So yeah, Xbox is great for that, and their controller by far, until just recently with the PS5, has been the superior controller, and it's not even close.
Right.
The PS5 now, I would say, is a superior controller, but it took 5 generations to do that, right? Whereas before, like, it definitely was the Xbox. And so Xbox just has a different market. And if you lean into your market, that's good. Like, don't.
Yeah.
know who you are, be who you are, and make oodles and noodles of money. Like, there's nothing wrong with that.
Yeah.
Like, that's good.
I was about to say, I'm like, Xbox is made for American men between the ages of 13
Right.
and 34.
Absolutely correct.
You know, that's like it.
Yeah.
You know, because I can't find a kids game on Xbox.
No.
You
That's
know,
another reason that's
playing.
another reason you need the Switch.
Right. Because I'm like sitting there, I'm like, there's nothing fun to play on for my kids for this Xbox, and I didn't even think about that.
Right.
You know, I was just like,
Yeah, you're just
really
like, I
enjoy-
like Xbox. I've had good experiences with Xbox. There's nothing wrong with that. You're
Yeah.
just, but that's why you do have to kind of like, video games is like, someone described it to me once as a money pit, and they weren't wrong. It's like, if it's your hobby, cool. Like, I love video games, so it's my hobby. So I will spend the money requisite to
right.
buy and play video games. Sweet,
Right.
awesome. But if it's not like what you really love, then you're running the risk of buying something that you just kind of just sits, and that can be frustrating.
Yeah.
Like anything, if we buy anything like that as a consumer, it's like frustrating.
Right.
So you have to like, you gotta weigh those. And so like for me, I have this really nice computer. So anything that's Xbox, I'll just do on the computer. And I can do, if I want to, I just pay for like Xbox Live, right?
Right.
So I was never gonna buy an Xbox, ever. My computer is better than an Xbox.
Right.
But I also paid for it, like, and I did that because like we're streaming, so it's like part of the business too. So I had like two reasons for that, right?
Right.
I love Nintendo because I love Mario and I love, all that. So I'm always going to get a Switch or the Nintendo system. And then I'm a PS guy, so I'm always going to get the PlayStation. But like, so this generation, just on consoles, I've spent $800 just on consoles. And then all the games, I'm probably up to, I bet I'm around like $1,600 for this generation. That's just this one. So like, that's not the PS3. I've started buying my own console since the PS2 era.
Right.
So like, I bought our PlayStation 2, and that was $330 for a 12-year-old. I bought it myself.
Well done.
So it's like,
That's awesome.
yeah. And so it's like, and everyone benefited from it because it was like the first DVD player we had. That's one of the reasons that the PS2 sold so well, is because like DVD players back then were like, they were like $500, $600, some were $1,000.
Yeah.
Or you could buy a PlayStation 2 and it played DVDs just like yet another DVD player. So it's like, that's how like people like did it. And that, I bought it just because I wanted video games, but we all benefited from that.
Yeah, but you get video games and DVD.
Right. And so that was a big selling point. Another reason why people like, it's just like the Wii U. I don't know that people thought that like nursing homes were going to buy it, but then it just made sense. And so then they did. And there's a lot of things that were kind of just like unforeseen market value. And that happens all the time. Every generation that has that, like, the Switch I'm very confident is so popular because of, like I said, like, and they knew this was like, a selling point for it, but like, they knew that having a console that then could hybrid into a handheld was so smart, because people were buying the Wii and then the 3DS on top of it. So they were already spending double for systems when you could just package that whole thing together like they, figured out. And now we have the Switch. And now they don't need to make a handheld because their console is a handheld.
Right.
And so it's like, it's just smart. Like, they're just smart.
Yeah. And they just, they keep their market in mind
Right.
the whole time.
Right.
And that's,
They're just super smart about why they do what they do. They're just super smart about it.
And I think that's a big problem on the Xbox, is that they kind of just run off of power.
They keep thinking that like people, and it's cool. It is cool. Like when you see like what it can do, it's like, yeah, that's super cool for a techie geek.
Yeah.
But like,
yeah, but someone that
not
just
for
wants
people
to play
who just
Halo,
want to. Yeah.
You know?
It's like that because that's the thing is it's like we might as well do this. We might as well split Xbox Live between us. Come over here and we'll play Halo together.
Right.
And like, and I have enough power, and I mean you don't have it at your house, I guess, but it's like you usually would be doing it with me anyways. You know what I mean? That's usually when you play video games is usually with me. Right. So it's like, and that just takes planning. It's just like, hey, we'll do, we'll every, whatever day, we'll play video games, and then you can get all the video game time you want, and then you don't even have to worry. You wouldn't even have to worry about all the other garbage that comes with it. But anyways, I digress. That's kind of the idea, and that's why Xbox is fine. But I feel like right now they do the Xbox because they don't want it to fail, but they don't really understand that like they did do a good job, and they did something that was really cool and impressive, but I think Xbox might have lived its usefulness, especially since I honestly would just tell them, don't make consoles anymore, just do the Xbox Live stuff.
Right.
Just stick to that.
Yeah.
Forgo all of those costs.
The Netflix of video games.
Yeah. Just be really good at that.
Yeah.
And then you're good. You're gold. You don't need to do anything else.
Because that's me. It's like I'll pay $10 to $20 a month to be able to play a video game.
Right.
And I mean, that's all I was thinking. Because it's like, okay, just be really good at the Netflix of video games.
Right.
You subscribe, you have new video games come out here and there, but you have your old classics like Halo 1,
Right. And that way, and the thing is with Xbox Live, you can make it like a backup library. So now, because that's the biggest problem with consoles is like, there's no more backwards compatibility. Like when you bought the PS2, you could play every PS1 game on it.
Right.
So that was a huge draw. And then a lot of people were like, oh, well, maybe because they were thinking that the PS5 was going to be similar that way. We're like, it was going to let you do it was going to do like similar things like that. But it didn't. And so then it was like, well, I'm going to buy this because I love video games and blah, 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 just like I always do. But it would have been really nice had I been able to play, even PS3 games on it or whatever.
Right.
Oh, I'm dying.
Oh, you got a level 9 right at the end.
If I had gotten off my Unite move, that would have turned the whole tide of that fight.
Yeah. Or had just gotten into your base.
Yeah, it was close.
Oh.
But, they came in hard, and I think it was like all 4 of them there. So it's like, well, you really wanted it. You really wanted that one. So, no worries. We're doing fine. We need to. Our Dragon Knight, I think, needs to pull his head out of his butt. But it would have been nice had he come and helped. But
yeah. Man. It's just it's too bad. That was my favorite. That was the Xbox, and that's what I decided to buy.
There's nothing wrong having like loyalty to brands and stuff.
Yeah.
The problem with that though is like you just have to know your purpose, because it's like if you I'm guessing if you, from what I'm hearing, if you had rethought it, you would have been like, no, I'm gonna buy the Switch because I want my kids to be able to play it with me.
Right.
And so, and then that's what you would have spent your money on, and probably would have been a better spend for that. Right. There's nothing wrong with that. Like you live and you learn, and that's fine.
So it's almost November, and Christmas is coming up. So are they coming out with new consoles or new Switches?
No. There is a Switch in the works for sure. There's been rumors of that, but that new consoles are off by maybe like a year or 2, year and a half. They're supposedly going to announce something soon-ish. Dragon Knight, Help. You idiot. Oh my gosh. You're the reason we lose this fight, bro. Oh my gosh. Oh my goodness gracious. I'm glad he didn't die, but it's like, bro.
Thank you.
Like, help. Help, please. Help us, please.
Over here.
Over here, please. We need your help, please. Good, someone stole it. That's nice. That's nice. That's really
Yeah. So I don't need to be worried about, buying this Switch and then 3 or 4 weeks later.
You know, and there might be an announcement, like, of more information, but everything I've learned is that the Switch 2 or whatever they're gonna call it, right? That is slated for like 2025. You know, but there's the thing is like I mean I don't know.
Yeah.
I mean they could pull a Houdini and trick everybody. Now, I doubt that they would do it like now, and I don't know that I don't know. I mean, the Switch is usually consoles are around 5 to 6 years. That's their like life. And the Switch came out in 2016, so that's 7. So, and I've heard that game developers do have like, so they give them kits so they can begin like making games for them, right? So that they have like launch titles. I've heard that people have those. So if there are people that have, development kits, that does mean that, that they're out there and they exist. Good job, Dragonite. You did a good thing. You got Rayquaza. Oh, and I missed Blastoise. That's perfect. Die! Yeah, Dragonite did a good thing at the end. Good job. He won that game for us. Cool.
Wow.
Good job, Dragonite. I'm sorry for saying you should pull your head out of your butt. You did. You did a great job.
You did good.
You did the thing that is supposed to be done anyways. That's great. But yeah, so... And look, we were actually losing that, but they surrendered. So we won, even though they were winning.
Nice.
Sucks to be you. Stink babies. But yeah, so... I will do more research. You should do more research. Yeah. Everything I'm hearing is that the Switch 2 is coming out probably in 2025. It wouldn't surprise me, though, if it came out next holiday season. So you might buy one this year, and then you'll only have had it for a year.